Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoes.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another beer review. Continuing our No Buy November. It's funny, No Buy November's kind of got us back into the beer review game. I took a long break for a while and I'm back to drinking beer on camera, which is kind of weird, but it's good times. No Buy November. If you guys haven't seen any of my previous videos, Kyle over at No Hype Beer Reviews inspired this. Is where you don't buy beer for the month of November and you try and get through your cellar and drink beer that you actually already have instead of spending more money. So we are doing that and we're having a good time with it. And we're actually going to review another Barleywine. I just reviewed a 2015 vintage, I think it was, of Sierra Nevada Bigfoot. How I've reviewed like 2 or 3 Barleywines on my channel, but we're going to review another one tonight because Bigfoot just kind of got me inspired to drink more barley wine. So from Modern Times and Horus Aged Ales, another collaboration. This is Mecha Planetoid. This is a 10.1%. It says barley wine ale aged in maple bourbon barrels. So we just the other night reviewed the Horus and Modern Times stout collab, Doomhawk, which was crazy pastry amazingness. And I'm sure this beer is no different. I love this label. I love the name. Modern Times and Horus, 2 of my favorite breweries in Southern California. So let's get into it, shall we? I just realized I'm wearing a Horus shirt. It matches. It's the same color as my kids' travel ball teams, and so I wear it when we go to games. So they played a game today. Both of them did, and so we're wearing our blue Horus shirt. Let's get into this one. Damn, this is pouring freaking thick. Maple bourbon barrels are kind of interesting to me. Sometimes you get a lot of maple characteristics and sometimes you don't. This looks like a stout in the glass. This is crazy. I think what happens is there's obviously bourbon in a barrel and then they empty that and then they put maple syrup into that and age maple syrup, and then when they empty that they put beer in it. So if I'm wrong, someone can correct us, but I think that's what happens. So it's kind of third use barrel, right? Is that considered second use? Well, you use the barrel for the bourbon, which would be the first use. Then you use it for maple, which would be second. So yeah, I guess this is third use barrel. I don't know. So I don't remember if this was a league beer or if this was available to public. I can't remember. I've had this in the fridge for a while. So it was this year though. This is a 2019 beer, but yeah, this looks like a stout in the glass. It's crazy. There's a fluffy, it was about a finger of like a mocha khaki head. It's kind of dissipating. There's some big bubbles around the edge, kind of rocky. But yeah, if you look at that in the glass, doesn't that look like a stout to you? We're using our Modern Times League glass because it's proper and beer tastes better out of proper glassware. You guys should know that by now if you watch my videos, and you should try it if you haven't. So 10% when we swirl this. There's alcohol leaks streaking down. Looks good. Looks awesome. Looks like a stout. So another barley wine. Shove our nose in this guy, see what she smells like. This smells so good. Like when it really bothers me, and it's my own fault. I have like these rad beers that are sitting in my fridge and I just continue to drink hoppy beers. Like, why don't I open these more often? Because it's a 22 ounce 10% beer and I have to drink this by myself and it's going to be the end of it for Sunday. But like when you put your nose in something like this, there is a ton of like fudgy chocolate, but there is so much vanilla. There's a sweetness, but it's not like crazy cloying sweet. Seriously, if someone gave this to me blind and asked me what it was, I would say it's some kind of stout that's brewed with vanilla. It is crazy vanilla forward from the barrel. There's chocolate. There's like a hint of dark fruit. Like, kind of. It's not. When we were when we were smelling Bigfoot, I talked about it kind of smelled like raisin juice. It doesn't have a raisin thing. I think it's more like figgy, kind of plummy, like dark fruit. Like I said, there's a sweetness to it. I don't think I would guess it was maple sweetness. And you don't smell the 10%. It's crazy. This doesn't smell like barley wine to me. It does. It smells like a stout. So let's go ahead and taste it. Cheers. Just like the stout we just drank from them. That's so thick, full, mouth coating, crazy. My lips are sticky. So, hold on a second. Said it smelled, there was like a sweetness to it. This is a fairly sweet beer. Not quite as crazy as Doomhawk was. That was like Beatus sweet. This is pretty sweet. But all of that vanilla that we were smelling, it carries over to the taste of this. This doesn't taste like barley wine to me. This tastes like a huge like imperial porter or like an imperial stout. It's crazy. There's so much like chocolate and a little bit of roast to go with like that crazy vanilla sweetness. And when I say crazy vanilla sweetness, I mean like crazy vanilla flavor. It's not crazy sweet. It's definitely sweet, but it's not over the top sweet. There is a little bit of heat on the finish of that. 10.1% aged in something that carried a spirit in it. I guess you would expect that. And there's like this cool drying kind of oaky woody thing on the very finish of that. That kind of sweet figgy thing that I was smelling, I don't taste it. I think because there's just so much of like the chocolatey kind of roasty vanilla. Like there's so much vanilla in this, it's nuts. And maybe that's maple that I'm tasting, but it's coming off as like vanilla to me. It doesn't taste like breakfasty, like pancake maple. But yeah, I can't believe how thick that beer is, but that's a Horus beer. Like that's what Kyle's known for. So this definitely has like a Horus, it has Horus fingerprints on it as far as that goes. This beer is fantastic. 10%. Like I said, there's a sweetness, but it's not overly sweet. I'll be able to sip on this for the rest of the night and finish it, no problem. It's not, you're not gonna have to like take a pull of insulin or anything. This is great. Like I said though, it's weird because if you gave this to me blind, I wouldn't be able to tell you it's a barley wine. I would say it's a stout, some kind of stout or porter, something like that. So I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to say about it. We'll just keep repeating ourselves. This is fantastic. I only had one of these. I don't remember like what this release was. I don't remember. Like I said, I don't know if this was like one of the member bottles and it was one per person, or I don't know. I only have one, so I'm kind of kicking myself for not buying more of these. This would be fun to just let hang out in the fridge and age for another couple years and see what happens. I would guess that vanilla that you're getting, it would kind of mellow out and you'd get more of like that barley wine base. But as this sits right now on November the 10th of 2019, it's absolutely fantastic. So that's Mecha Planetoid from Modern Times and Horus. I say it every time I review a beer from either one of them. If you've never had them, seek them out. They're worth your time. I mean, some of the best beers in the country, I think, Modern Times and Horus. I mean, I would argue that till I'm blue in the face. So that's it. I'm out here, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Cheers.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't